Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNSFANS. Let's get to the news, all right. Browns fans, buckle up because what's happening right now in Cleveland is a game changer. The Browns are making a bold move with their quarterback situation that shows they're all in on the present and future, even if it means closing the door on some past hopes. The latest update is that Shedeur Sanders, the rookie we've all been watching with eager eyes, is getting the full green light to finish out the season. That's right, Cleveland's coaching staff, led by Stefanski, has decided that Shedeur will start the last 4 games of the year. No more experimenting, no more holding back. This is his team for the remainder of this season. And honestly, it's a pretty big deal. You gotta remember, Sanders stepped up in a major way against the Tennessee Titans, throwing for an impressive 364 yards and 4 touchdowns. That wasn't just a flash in the pan. It was a statement. The kid looked poised, confident, and ready to lead. His performance was so good that the Browns decided to reward him with a starting spot for the final stretch of the year. They're clearly impressed with how he's developed, how he's handled the pressure, and how he's been improving game after game. Stefanski didn't hold back in praise, saying that Shedeur has been working tirelessly, getting better with every snap, and he's pleased with where his growth is heading. This isn't just a temporary boost, it's a sign that the Browns see real potential in this young quarterback. Now, what does this mean for Deshaun Watson? Well, things are getting a little complicated there. Watson, who was supposed to be Cleveland's franchise quarterback when they traded for him in 2022, has been sidelined for more than a year due to all the off-field issues and injuries. He returned to practice recently, which has opened the door, at least on paper, for him to be activated again within that 21-day window. However, the Browns aren't rushing him back into the lineup. The team's management and coaching staff are clearly taking a cautious approach, prioritizing long-term stability over rushing Watson onto the field just for the sake of it. It's worth noting that Watson's role moving forward isn't clearly defined. Dillon Gabriel, another young quarterback who has had his fair share of starts earlier this season, is currently the backup. Gabriel has proven to be reliable when called upon, and he's shown that he can hold down the fort if needed. Meanwhile, Shedeur's emergence as a potential starting quarterback for the final games of the season suggests that Cleveland is looking toward the future, perhaps even beyond Watson's current contract. It's a strategic move, one that says, we're developing talent, and we're not just waiting around for Watson to return to glory. The Browns' decision to stick with Shedeur for the last 4 games also reflects their confidence in his ability to lead. He's been a third-string emergency QB earlier in the season, but now he's stepping into the spotlight. And make no mistake, this isn't just about giving a rookie a few snaps here and there. It's about evaluating whether he can be a viable option for the team in the coming years. Cleveland has invested heavily in him, and if he keeps progressing, he could be a key piece in their future plans. Speaking of Watson, his situation is quite complicated. The Browns signed him last year with a massive $230 million guaranteed deal that runs through 2026. But his tenure in Cleveland has been anything but smooth. His performance on the field has been underwhelming at times, and off the field, he's been dealing with a lot of scrutiny. Despite that, the Browns still believe he's a valuable veteran presence in the QB room. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that Watson's presence has been beneficial for the young quarterbacks in Cleveland, providing leadership and experience that they desperately need. The team's management has made it clear they're not rushing him back, especially considering his injury history and the fact that he hasn't played more than 7 games in a season since 2020. From a financial standpoint, releasing Watson before June 1 would have been a nightmare for the Browns. It would have triggered nearly $135 million in dead cap space, which would have been a massive blow to their salary cap and future flexibility. Even waiting until after June 1, if they decide to move on, would still leave them with around $53 million in dead money. So realistically, Cleveland is stuck with Watson, at least for now. The team has made it clear they're moving on from the idea of him being the starter this year. Owner Jimmy Haslam called the trade for Watson a swing and a miss, admitting that the Browns thought they had found their franchise QB, but that didn't pan out the way they hoped. Still, they're keeping him on the roster, mainly because of the financial implications and the fact that he's under contract through 2026. This entire situation puts Cleveland in a tricky spot. On one hand, they have a promising young talent in Shedeur Sanders, who is earning trust and respect with every game he plays. On the other, they have Watson's massive contract weighing down their cap and a coaching staff that's clearly prioritizing development and stability. It's a delicate balancing act, and it's clear that Browns management is playing the long game. They're giving Sanders the opportunity to prove himself, while also keeping Watson around as a veteran presence, though not necessarily as a starting option moving forward. The division around Cleveland is also watching this closely. The AFC North has always been one of the most competitive divisions in the league, with teams like the Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers constantly vying for supremacy. But what Cleveland is doing now could shift the balance of power. If Sanders continues to develop and shows he can be a reliable starter, it could change the division's dynamics in a major way. The Browns have been criticized in the past for their quarterback decisions, but this move signals a new approach, one that's more patient, more development-focused, and perhaps more future-oriented. Looking ahead, Cleveland fans have plenty to be excited about. The season isn't over yet, and these last 4 games will be crucial for Sanders to showcase his talents and for the Browns to evaluate what they truly have in their young quarterback. It's also a chance for Cleveland to solidify its identity, whether that's a team built around a young, dynamic QB or one that relies on veteran leadership. The organization's patience with Watson suggests they're not dismissing him entirely, but it's clear they're also not counting on him to save the season. This move also raises questions about the future of Cleveland's quarterback room. Will Sanders be the guy moving forward? Will the Browns explore other options in the offseason if he impresses? And what's next for Watson? Will he remain a backup or be moved elsewhere? These are questions Browns fans are going to be pondering over the next few weeks, and it's an exciting yet nerve-wracking time for the franchise. One thing's for sure, Cleveland is making bold moves, and they're doing it with a focus on long-term success. As we all know, Cleveland has always been a team that fights hard, with a passionate fan base that's endured a lot but still believes in the potential of their squad. This new chapter with Sanders taking the reins and Watson's future uncertain could be the start of something special. The young quarterback's development will be one of the most interesting storylines of the offseason, and Browns fans are right there with him, cheering every step of the way. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.